Hello everyone and welcome back to the first ever live class with me. April, it's a pleasure to be here teaching to you, and Happy New Year. I hope you're all well and had a lovely festive season and ready to get back into normal routine. Today we've got a seated Pilates class. I do this every second Monday of the month, and it's just a really nice way for you to always do some exercises, no matter if you can get down to the floor or you can't stand for too long. A chair is fantastic to do some Pilates work, and that is what we're going to do. So regardless of your chair, doesn't matter. I've got this huge great big armchair, which is amazing if you want to have a little nap, but it's also got a nice big high back on it. But if you don't have that, no problem at all. We are going to start with the feet hip width apart and the hands just down by your sides. As always, before we get started, please go within your own workings. You never want to push to the point of pain. You know your body, listen to your body, and if it hurts, then that's a time for you to just gently stop. But this is suitable for all levels, and especially if you're sat at a desk and you need like a good sort of move about whilst you're still working. I can give you lots of stretches as well, because sitting at a desk, unfortunately, really does change your posture quite a lot. Equally, if you stand on your feet all day, maybe you're a hairdresser or a teacher, and your back hurts and you don't want to do much exercise, and you want to follow along in a chair, this is also perfect. So wherever you are, I want you just to sit with horrendous posture. So we're going to start by just tucking your pelvis under. So that means your sitting bones kind of go under, and we're going to drop the shoulders. And this is what we call by tucking the pelvis whilst we're sitting down. So when we stand up, we sort of like bring our hips back, and our glutes come together and our legs power forward. And we're going to sit and do the same here. So we drop the shoulders down and breathe in and out. And you're just relaxing your back off. So if you're sat at a desk, if you drive, then this is what you can do to really relax your lower back. I know when I drive for long periods, I'm not very good at driving for a long time. I get quite aggy, and my back gets quite aggy as well. So I have to like really round through and relax the area. So you may be the same, especially after sitting down at a desk maybe all day and all week. It can really have a massive impact on your posture. And now we're going to sit up nice and tall. So we're going to swap between the two poses. So we're extending the spine, dropping the shoulders down, hands and fingers are still relaxed, and then we're going to tuck under, so the pelvis is controlling this entire movement. So if we were to stand up, my pelvis is in neutral, and then this is a tucked pelvis because the lower back is trying to go flat. It will of course depend on your own natural posture. I have a very deep arch in my lower back. You might not. You might have quite a flat back, and therefore you might feel like having a overextending and sticking the glutes out. You might feel that that helps you a little bit more. We're all different. So but this Pilates class will help you to relax and strengthen, but also relax what you need to. So we'll just do a few more. Lift up and then come down. So lift, squeeze under, and it's actually quite a nice way to switch off and relax. So we can link the breath here. So we inhale, we can tuck under, and exhale, lift up, and inhale, and exhale. And let's just do a couple more. And last one. And relax. And now when you lift up, you should hopefully try and find your natural posture. When we lift up, we don't mean push the chest out. We want to keep the spine nice and long. But if you do have, like I say, like I've got a nice big armchair, if you've got a chair with a back on it and it's quite a supportive back, use it, because it will really help support you. After a while, your back will listen and create muscle memory. So every time you sit down, your spine will go, oh, we sit up or we slump. So try and train it to always sit up tall. Okay, so now drop the shoulders down. And we're simply going to look over your right shoulder, into the middle and over to the left. And just see how you feel within your neck. Sometimes I have a very stiff neck, and even when I turn my head, I can feel it. I know my posture when I lay down is terrible, especially when I sleep. It is so bad. As a Pilates teacher, I have the worst posture when I sleep. But when we're asleep, we can't really control that. But when we're awake, we can control what we do. So it's really nice to give our body what it needs. So let's do a couple more each side. And then look forward, good. And then lift one shoulder up and then place it straight down. And we're just activating everything as it should be. Good, let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then roll those shoulders forward. Rolling your shoulders forward really helps the space in between the shoulder blades and the shoulder blades themselves relax. So I don't know about you, but before I've had RSI, when I used to sit years ago when I was younger, I used to work in a betting shop, and I used to twist like this from the till to the computer screen, and after a few months the burning in my left shoulder blade was awful. It was pain. I would dread going into work. If you have any tension like that in your upper body, I highly recommend obviously doing some Pilates, but equally a very good massage or even acupuncture to really help, because repetitive strain injury is horrible, and it really does burn, and your system really changes. So it's always good to make sure that you just do a little bit of maintenance work here and there, and listen to your body as well. If it's painful, it's telling you it's painful for a reason. Now right ear to right shoulder, hand on top of the head, and just pull so we feel this stretch. This is stretching off our traps muscles, our trapezius, which is here, and that honestly is a very tight muscle. And this is why most times when I say to people drop your shoulders, I see across the room everyone drops their shoulders because of the tension there. So you need to really relax those shoulders down. They, I would probably say, need the most training throughout your entire body. Them and your pelvis, your muscles here, they need a lot of training. It is a lot of repetitive movement when you practice that, but equally it will really, really help. And then drop that right shoulder down, left ear. Good, come back to the middle and then circle, and then shoulders around. So even when you know, if you're typing at a desk, you could take 30 seconds out on the hour, every hour, if you have the time, and just do some shoulder rolls, and that's it, because you're loosening it off. You're moving your body in a different way to how it's just been, and your body will respond. As soon as you start doing a different form of exercise or stretching, your body will respond really well. So it's a good way to, you know, really stretch out. Wonderful. And let's go again. So right ear, right shoulder, left hand on top, and pull. Just gently pull. We don't want to hurt ourselves. Just breathe in and out. And then come in and release. Amazing. Left ear, left shoulder, right hand on top. Drop the shoulder down. Breathe. Take your time. And then come back up. Wonderful. And now we're just going to nod the chin. Now this stretches the back of the neck, which again is a very intense area. So drop the shoulders down. Breathe in and out. And you won't feel like this is a huge stretch, but you're just allowing the back of the neck to relax. And come back up. Amazing. So that 10-minute routine will hopefully just relax your shoulders. And sometimes you might look at some exercise and think, well, that doesn't look like it'll do a lot. But if you repeat this daily, you will feel a huge difference. There's a lot of headaches are linked to people that sit at desks all day or have their shoulders up high. Hairdressers get a lot of migraines. Driving people that drive get a lot of headaches and tension within the upper body. It's because we're gripping the hands that are going up into the neck and into those muscles, and then up into the neck and into the face. And of course, that's where the head is. So by stretching off your traps, you're going to really relax. Okay, now what we're going to do is take the hands onto the knees, nod your chin, and then back to that starting position. Going to tuck that pelvis under and relax. Breathe in and out. And then lift up. Inhale. Exhale, come down. And then up 2 more times. So this is a very small movement, but again, you're allowing your posture to be as perfect as it can, and then relax it down. And then lift, and inhale, and exhale, nod, round through. And then lift up. Wonderful. Okay, now let's start to move the sides of the body. So just take the right hand onto left knee, and left hand can go behind you as best you can. Twist, open up. This is very good for detoxing as well. The body, we really massage everything we need to here. So that's very nice for your body. And then come back in, relax. Right hand behind, left hand on right knee, and look over. Good, and then come back in. Take the hands onto the thighs, and then we're going to start circling the body, coming from the hips. So we don't want to rock over from side to side within the hips too much. But when we come forward, we're extending the spine, and then when we're coming back, we have to round through that spine. So again, it's keeping really healthy movement all within that back. And create just a little bit of balance. So if you didn't know, you have muscle memory. So that means every time you sit down, every time you get in bed, every time you stand, every time you wash up, you're on the phone, you will stand in the same position every time, because your muscles have that memory. And then switch the other way. So when you start doing Pilates, you are trying to train your body to be different, which is really hard, because if you've laid in bed a certain way your entire life for decades, it's going to take a lot of patience to untrain that. I'm the same. I lay flat on my face, and then I turn my head, and hence my sore neck. So I know that is how I lay. It's very annoying. I wish I could train myself, but it is quite difficult. I'm going to go the other way one more time. But when we come to sit down, next time we go to sit down, take a good look at how you do it. So you can just sit down as you would normally, don't think about it. And then when you're sat down, analyze. So have you got more weight on one side of the body than the other? Let's go the other way. When I sit down, my right knee is always going over, and therefore I'm always stretching my right side. You might find that you slump to one side. Another really good thing to do is that sit down and then get someone to take a photo of you. Or look in the mirror. If you don't have a mirror handy, then a photo is a good idea, because what can happen then is you can start to see where you've got imbalances, because we always use one side, and relax, we always use one side of our body, our dominant sides, a lot more than the other. So when you come to sit down, you'll naturally sit down. So every time, if you're at a desk and you're on the phone, you'll probably lean the same way, or if you're talking to a friend, you'll stand onto the same hip and lock the same knee every time. Doing these sort of exercises helps to just readjust and realign your body. So it's a really good way to do it. Okay, let's just stretch off the backs of our legs. So if you are sat down and you cannot get off your sofa or your seat, or you're at work and you're very busy and you can't get off, but you're starting to feel quite tense, this is a very good stretch to do. You just literally extend your leg out. So I've got a very big chair, but if I didn't, I would just extend, you can't see my toes, I'm sorry, but I would just extend my heel onto the floor and toes go up towards the ceiling, because you're then opening up from the sole of your foot all the way up the back of your leg and into your thighs. And that is, again, a very big problem area. The hamstrings and the calves, big problem areas, always have been for a lot of people, and that will help to stretch and open it up. You can also do it when you're a passenger in the car, when you're on a plane, but more importantly, yeah, when you're at your desk, or if you're watching TV of an evening and you just need to stretch off and come back down, and the other side, stretch and push. Breathing in and out. And then come back down. Amazing. Let's do that one more time. So stretch out and push, toes up towards the ceiling. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Come back in. Good. Other side. Toes up. Flex through the heel. And release. Good. Now we're going to stretch the toes out and just point your toes. So exactly the same. You may get a bit of cramp when you do this. So if you do, just flex through the heels, but just try and point your toes and feel. Do you feel a nice release in front of those shins? If you do, then maybe you need to work on also this as well. You can also circle the ankles. So let's do that now. So if your heels are on the floor, circle the ankles. And again, you can do this whilst sat on the desk, whilst you're typing or on the phone. All you have to do is just circle the ankles, and you want to imagine that with your big toe, you're creating the biggest circle you can. And then quick rest, because you may feel that a little bit in your thighs. That's very normal. And then up again and other side. So just circle around. And relax. Now release. Now let's just go back, tuck that pelvis under, round through, and then sit up tall. And then again, tuck under, and lift up. And then again, tuck under, and lift up. Good. Now let's push out. If you can maybe pull the toes back, but only if you can. If you don't have the flexibility, that's fine. But if you do, you might feel like you've got a little bit more opening in the back of that knee. 3, 2, 1, release. Other side, extend. Bring those toes back. Stretch out. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Wonderful. Okay. Now let's just stretch and open up the sides of the body. So take your left hand onto the left thigh. Lift the right arm up and over and then reach. Feel that stretch. Now, yes, you could do this at a desk, but you could also get up on a loo break and just stand And then just stretch the sides. You can do this standing up and sitting down. And release. Come down. Relax the shoulders. Lift. Inhale. Exhale, stretch. And release. Now just back to the neck stretches. Right ear, right shoulder. Pull. Breathe. Come in. Left ear, left shoulder. And come in. Right arm lift up and over. Just reach. And lift. Other side. Left arm. Reach over. And then come down. Fabulous. Take the hands behind the thighs, nod your chin, and then round through. And then keep the hands there and imagine that your thighs are anchoring you down. So now you're going to stretch and open up the tops of the shoulders. But keep your shoulders dropping right down. It doesn't feel like I'm doing a lot, but I've got a lovely release right at the top of my shoulders and into my neck. Restack. Come on up. Inhale. Exhale, nod. Round through. And lift. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale, nod round. And lift. Last time. Sit up nice and tall. Breathe in. Nod round through. Tuck that pelvis right under. And lift up. Wonderful. Okay, so let's just finish off stretching off the back of the shoulders a tad more. So I teach a lot of people that come to me who do sit down all day, and I do teach a lot of people that stand up all day, and they say that their shoulders, their neck and their back are probably the biggest things that cause them problems. And this doesn't just cause them problems with little things, it really affects them. And some people can get a little bit down about this because it does stop you doing things in your everyday life. So this one stretch I would say is the magic stretch, and it will really help to open up your shoulders. It is quite hard to perform, so we're going to use this and pretend it's a table, because using a table will definitely help you, but equally if you're sat at a desk it'll be a very easy one to do. Easy to a degree. So pretend this is my table, and I'm going to place one elbow, so I'm going to place my left elbow on, and then I'm going to place, just lift my left elbow up and slide my right elbow underneath, and then try and hold my own hand. And then when I'm here, I'm going to pull back. So let me just turn a little bit so I can get a bit comfortable. I'm going to slide under, and then I'm going to pull back. So nod my chin in slightly. And this is going to help open up. Now you can do this without the table. It is more intense. So if you don't quite have the flexibility, especially in the arms, then you can use a table. But this is really nice for opening up the middle part of your shoulder blades. And release. So when you're doing that, it might have felt a little bit intense, but if you give yourself time to rest in between stretches, that is also another huge thing. If you do rest and you've got an extra couple of moments just to breathe after, you're going to feel a lot calmer instead of rushing from thing to thing, because also stress can live within our bodies, and that can also create a lot of intensity and make our muscles sore. So give yourself a few seconds in between. Now let's go to the other side. So I'm going to place my left elbow over my right. If you want, my right elbow over my left, or whichever side you didn't do before. If you've lost which side, you will do one side and you'll feel if you've already done it, trust me. With or without your table or your aid, and then just bring those elbows forward, tuck the chin in slightly and feel. Now, if one side feels tougher than the other, so for me, my right elbow is over my left and my right side is my more dominant side. So I always use my right arm more. So it's going to be stronger, but the muscles in the top of my back could be weaker. So I feel this more within my right shoulder. So you will also get to feel within your own body what suits you, what doesn't, and maybe where you need to slow down in your normal life. And 3, 2, 1, relax. Wonderful. Come back to your chair, sitting up nice and tall. Let's just take 4 deep breaths in and out. Breathing in and out. Breathe in and out. Last one, breathe in and out. Wonderful, and thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you feel calm within your body. Try and train your shoulders to keep down and relaxed, and your spine long. Do some little pelvic tilts and stand up tall, stretch off the backs of your legs, and I promise you all these tiny little habits every day will really make a great impact on your body. Thank you as always for joining me, and I'll see you next Monday at 12:30 for even more Pilates. Bye bye.